Glock 45. So I picked this guy up a couple months ago um, with the intention of experimenting with it. So one of the things that I wanted to play with is porting the barrel, which I have never done before. I do not own any ported guns. I've played around with compensators before. I've shot a few compensated guns, but barrel porting is new to me. So there's what I did to it. I did that yesterday. I had a few open minutes in one of the machines. So I got in there and I cut the slide and added some slots to the barrel. I picked up a few extra barrels. So this is the barrel that came with the gun. I did not mess with it. But I was really pleased with how it shot. Way less recoil. It cycled fine. There were no issues. It did eject the brass a little different with the ported barrel, but everything cycled fine. So I was pretty happy with it. But there are definitely things that I'm going to change if I try this again. So let's get this guy apart and we'll take a closer look at the slide and the barrel. So I put a series of 8 slots down the barrel. They start out small and get bigger as they get towards the end of the barrel. You can see the buildup, and that is 100 rounds of 115 grain Blazer ammunition that I shot through it yesterday. I also milled a little flat area in the barrel. I would probably not do that again. And here is the slide. You can see the buildup on that as well. So I just went with a basic slot there, a window through the slide. And you can see that it basically blacked out the front sight after shooting a few rounds through it. So let's get these guys together here, and I'll explain what I would do different if I do this again. So I would definitely move everything down closer towards the chamber side of the barrel. One, I think it would work a little better. Just looking at the video and some of the pictures that I was able to take where you can see the gases coming out, I think it would work better if it was down this way further. And then also, obviously, that might help with how dirty the front sight gets, which I really don't care about that. But this is the factory Glock sight. If I put an aftermarket sight on there, I'm betting it would come out past this. So I would definitely move everything down. And really, this window doesn't need to be that long in the first place. If you see the space around the slots, there's way more space around the front slot than there is around the back slot. So that window really could be shorter. It doesn't have to be that long. But I think that's really the only thing I would change. I do have a couple other barrels, so I'm going to try one where I just make all the slots the same length as the front one up here, longer. See if there's any difference with that. And other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with it. So like I said, I got this gun kind of as a project gun to try a few new things. So I got a Hollow Sun EPS optic that I'm going to put on here. And that is a different footprint than any optic that I've done so far. So far, I've only done RMR style footprints. So we're going to mount that on there. I also got the tool to cut the dovetail for the sight. So I'm going to do a rear sight forward. So I'm going to move the rear sight up in here somewhere, mount that optic on there. And then I'm also going to, put all the serrations and other things like I've done on the other slides that I've shown. Yeah, so overall, I'm pretty happy with how it performed yesterday. 100 rounds, that's not a full test of it. I definitely want to get more rounds through it. But in that first 100 rounds, there were no issues with how anything worked. But as far as this one goes for the first test, the first prototype, if you will, I'm pretty happy with it. So we'll get to the footage of how it shot